their culture is very odd.
Assuming that had a happy ending?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we were at a resort, luckily.
We'll be up to the apex of emotion. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so...
Some toothpaste the other day?
No, we got some medicine. Applied a topical medicine to it and actually went down within by the next day. But it was an issue. There's monkey, rode elephants, we did the whole day. Hung out in the jungle. It was wild.
This game's almost over.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, pictures of elephants. Yeah.
No, on your Instagram.
Yeah, elephants are cool, man. They're weird. It's a weird little relationship you have with these animals. They're so gentle. Like, as long as they know that you are a kind person and you're taking care of them, you want, because like the people that run this, they run an elephant rescue thing. It's really kind of cool.
Is it still double XP? I think so. I don't know if it was double XP for ground war, and that's what I was doing earlier. I'm honestly not sure. I started doing regular pubs because I was worried that ground war didn't have double XP.
But like, and people are a little bummed out about riding them. But like, I don't really recommend riding them. Like, my family wanted to ride them. And, you know, a lot of these people ride, but the whole thing is a rescue thing. They take these animals
this Harrier thing,
all these different
8 kills, you camp for 8 kills and you'll get like 10 kills from that thing.
Wild environment. They roam free.
It's pretty nuts.
They just feed them so that elephants stay by, but they go off on their own too, and then they come back.
Man, look at these sweaty lobbies.
Piles of sugar cane, and so they're eating the sugar cane.
I need like somebody who reverse boost.
Rip a fucking tree out of its roots
and then have them host a game,
and
then you're in lobbies full of people that go 0 and 80.
I wish that we viewed them more as like roommates, than like ours. So we divvied the planet up a little smarter. I gotta shut my phone up. I found this picture on Instagram of this tiger, and the fucking thing is what looked like its legs back. It looks like it's doing dips, and just the fucking muscles. It doesn't even look real. Like that thing exists on this planet. It was just walking around free, that you could just bump into. I understand. You know, like when people first came out here and they eradicated it. That's along the lines of it. I mean, look at that. Fuck. How many pull-ups, Joe, do you need to do to fucking look like that? Fuck. Oh my god. Look at the fucking muscles. You must have seen that one. You ever see that one where they were fucking with that tiger and that dude was on the elephant? Yeah. And this thing took off like Jordan in the dunking contest. And every time it reached its apex, it kept going up like fucking Zion there on Duke. Yeah. And it barely grazed the guy's arm when it clawed him. It tore it apart. And the guy, like, he had nerve damage and his fucking arm didn't work. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a great video, recent video, like 2 weeks ago, of these guys on a motorcycle in India. And they're riding their motorcycle, the tiger's chasing them. And the tiger almost gets them. It's full clip chasing them. I actually looked how fast they can run, and I'm surprised, because the guy was on like a scooter or something. They can go like 40 miles an hour. I think what fucked him up was the surface that he started running on. Right, if he was more in his element, they get like a dog in a kitchen, gets a little fucking low. I think the tiger did that. They slide! Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah, on the concrete, right? Yeah. Or maybe just the sound of the engine was just like, that doesn't sound tasty.
Oh,
well, it's one of the rare places on Earth where tigers hunt people. There's a history of hunting.
They hunt or they come upon them?
No, they hunt them. There's an area called the Sundarbans. In Sundarbans, tigers over the last 200 years have killed more than 300,000 people there. They actively hunt people. Believe it or not,
I'm gonna warm my thumbs back up here. I was just laying down.
I know what I would ever do.
Pretty much falling asleep. I'm getting sick and I got like a banging headache. You know?
And make some defensive moves, like, or offensive moves, just to get it to go right towards it. It's just like the you UFC guys. We're all like, I would rather get fucking choked out than knocked out. It's the same thing. You just go to sleep. Yeah, you just sleep. I mean, it probably hurts for a second. That's all. First for a second, and as you start to go, I think the last thing that's as bad is the smell of the tiger. Oh, the breath. The big, gamey, rotten meat breath. Oh, just the fact that they don't really bathe. Well, they swim, don't they? Yeah, I swim occasionally. Yeah, they can swim fast. This is how fast they can smell amazing. Did you see those two poor women? They were going to take a fucking hike through the rainforest and decided to go themselves. No. Gone. What happened? They found their clothes. Where was this?
Which rainforest?
I don't know. So I was right in your right up your fucking alley.
Reason?
I was surprised it wasn't on your Instagram. Like that's some that's some Rogan shit right there.
People get confused and they don't understand. You're a moving thing and you don't move quick, and they're all about eating moving things. If you're moving, they're trying to eat you. If you're by yourself.
Well, it's amazing that wherever we started on this planet, that our brain was able to cover for the fact of how fucking slow we are. We're slower than squirrels, like everything. Everything is lightning fast out there, except sloths. Sloths, I know, but they're like, but that's their job.
To get eaten?
Yeah, they're like jalapeno poppers. You know that bullshit that you just order? You want to get that? Fuck it, let's get that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Oh no, that timing.
Before you go after the real thing.
Why do you not play 32v32? I haven't even. I think I did try it. I don't know. I make drastic change in game modes when people are camping too much.
Yeah, and
I'll try it out right now.
This fucking
probably be way better for
ridiculous wingspan bird that doesn't really exist in that area anymore, but they're just in their DNA for them to freak out. He goes, it's a three-toed sloth, and he imitated it, and the fucking thing just kind of looked around a little bit. And it's like, dude, you just gave that thing a mini fucking heart attack.
We did a zip line. It was 1 mile. You get on, you zip across for 1 mile, and as I'm sliding down this thing with my family, by the way, I'm thinking, when was the last time they checked this? Who's checking this? The fucking ladder was rusted.
Where is this asshole?
Ratchet bolted. So they had like straps where they ratcheted where the ladder had rusted, and then they just grabbed a hold of the strap and like clamped down on it, tied it to the fucking tree, and we're climbing up this, and it's like, oh, watch out there, that part's rusted through. Like, what? That's rusted through. And then you get to the top, and they latch you up to this thing. I'm telling you, you're above the rainforest, and it just, and you go for like fucking 10 minutes.
Just people don't understand how high those. We were just in the bullshit. We were just in the very tippity top of. We were in Costa Rica, so we weren't like in the shit. And I just remember, like the thing where we were doing, you know, the little, I guess platform that you went up to was so fucking high off the ground, and it was a third up the tree. Yeah. Like when we were looking up at the three-toed sloth that was over there, it was like an.
Oh no, you're mine.
It was ridiculous.
You like it? Did it just come out today? I feel like I just barely saw it today.
There's a fucking great story recently of a guy. He's a musician and he was recording sounds of nature.
I was hoping I'd like Ground War, man. But it just turned into like, I don't know, people just standing on top of rooftops shooting down at you. Seems like that's what it is, and then every map has that flight of stairs.
Oh yeah, they do.
And then,
because they're omnivores.
You know, you go all the way up the stairs just to get messed up by a claymore. Some dude just camped and wait for you.
Just want to kill you and kill you as quick as they can. But bears.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, there are no predators other than other bears and humans with rifles. And if they're in a place where there's no humans with rifles, they're the top of the food chain. So they just put a paw down on you, so they hold you in place, and start chewing chunks of you, just eating chunks of you off. The video of the grizzly man special. Tonight at midnight.
No. Oh.
You know what my brother called him? I called him after we watched some video, and it was one of those Komodo dragons, and it somehow grabbed like a deer-looking thing, whatever the fuck is in its world that's like that, and I'm sorry, people, but it snapped its fucking leg, and he said the thing was laying there and it couldn't move. And it just started eating the thing's guts. And the deer
what the hell?
Don't! Shut that fucking thing off. I don't watch any of that. I don't watch execution videos. I don't watch that on my hard drive.
Oh!
I'm gonna bomb tonight watching that. How do you find it that quick? Jesus Christ, this guy's good.
He's got them saved. Yeah.
Oh, this class you made with the kilo was insane.
It's got like.
I don't know. I've been using the M4, but I think I got the class messed up.
Baboons are no joke. I never knew when they fucking yawn. You're like, oh shit, that's like a tiger monkey.
It's like a dog monkey. That's what it's like. It's
like a freaked out.
Yeah, a wolf, crazy wolf. Yeah, a wolf monkey. They eat kids.
Someone's got a new band name that.
Wolf monkey. That's a good name for a band. There's a great video of this Komodo dragon. It's got this monkey's feet and tail hanging out of his mouth. He's just slowly choking this thing down, eating this entire monkey whole.
I found that my teammate's already in there. Go first, teammate.
See if you can find that. Show the bill.
No, I don't want to. I honestly don't want to watch
Just put it on that one. So I don't put it on one TV.
Can you
I hear someone, teammate. Someone's here.
Paper tiger. Speaking of animals.
No! Oh my god, man. Get out of your spawn.
Because I just think we're in a hilarious time. Because you already took strange time. I have to stop saying, like the amount of times I had to stop saying it's a weird time. It's not even too special. Because it just is. Like what we're focusing on. Oh my god, can you fucking believe this? While this real, like half the shit that's going on, if it's true, is like
I'm gonna stop going on that type of map. That's where I keep dying.
End of the world movies where they accept, it's not gonna have a happy ending, and it's just like, it just kind of strikes me. I don't know.
You're kidding me, dude.
I want people to have fun. Like, I'm not trying to fucking hurt anybody. It's not malicious. Well, I'm doing my job. I'm talking about this news, and I'm fucking around. And it's part that, and then the other part is just me talking about my flaws, my temper, and trying to work that shit out. That's all.
Dude, I'm trying to look for this kid spawn killing over here.
Not just saying stand-up, just a lot of shit that is not, as far as, like, if you had priorities. You know, like if your house just burnt down, you're not being like, God, we have to get a new
fucking
toaster.
spawn somewhere else, please.
It's like, no, we need shelter. Like, that's the number one thing. But there's all this shit that's like, a line of importance, like line 42 is getting gassed up to like number 7 or number 8 or something like that. And I already know people are going to be like, typical white male.
Our team's already on it? What am I even looking for then?
There's just something funny about how overtly,
secured.
I don't know, I guess, reversed, like, it's like you're doing the same fucking thing and you don't even realize you're doing it. As you're saying, like some groups of people, not all of them. Like, I've been joking how, like, a lot of feminists are, like, smart, but it's not the ones that are on TV. It's like sports fans. A lot of sports fans are really smart, but not the ones that call in sports talk radio.
That's perfect.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like when we would do the Opie Anthony show, okay? Or like Howard Stern, like when he would do back in the day when he would do live remotes. I love Howard Stern. I love Opie and Anthony, but like if I was a fan of this show, I don't have time, and I'm not going to some fucking mall in the middle of the day blowing off work or whatever, because I'm trying to get my own shit going.
Dude, I am so fucking ass.
They love them because they're diehards, but they're out of their fucking minds. So, it just has to do with that. I'm kind of, it doesn't necessarily have to do with me, but it does. It's one of those things. And it's also another way of saying that I'm full of shit. And,
you're a paper tiger.
Yeah, exactly. So,
the Opie and Anthony days, remember when they used to have stadium seating, like small stadium seating in the studio? And guys would come in they would let fans come in the studio and sit and watch the show. Those are the good old days.
Yeah.
I'm on like a huge death streak.
It's like a void. Somebody said perfectly, like, Phantom Limb,
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And you get excited, I'm in New York and I'm gonna,
doesn't exist. That was the last show that I used to get up early for. And when they were together, before Anthony got kicked out, and Opie and Jimmy and Anthony were all together. It was amazing. That was
like seeing a band with all the original members on the first fucking couple of albums tour before David Lee goes solo, and then
Well, they were the first guys to get ported over to XM too, right? Mm-hmm. They were the first, or I think were they before Howard or around the same time? But they were the first.
I think they were on. That was when it was XM and then Sirius.
Mm-hmm. Before, like Howard was on Sirius, they were on XM, and then they merged. Yeah. But they were the first show, the first radio show that let you just fuck around. Like, Howard is amazing, right? Greatest radio personality of all time, by far. But Howard controlled the show. He had you on, he had the board in front of him, he controlled the board, he asked you questions, he had an agenda, and, he was trying to make the show as entertaining as possible, and they got ready. O&A, you just fucking, come on in, guys. Come on in, Patrice. Come on in, Bill. Ari Shaffir, have a seat. And everybody, you'd be in the room. Ricky Gervais, 10 fucking people in the room. Norton would be doing fucking creepy characters. I mean, it was the birth.
Jimmy was my favorite.
Oh, it was.
You remember that? Yeah, he didn't do it enough. That's like a deep cut Jim Norton. Jive Talk Jimmy was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Alright.
It was so silly.
What
Which is my favorite thing ever.
Oh.
Highly intelligent people being silly is one of my favorite things ever. And Jim was and Patrice was sort of the king of that.
Oh, yeah.
Super, super, super next level smart and just silly. Really silly. I think when Howard went from terrestrial radio to Sirius, it was like he died. Because I didn't have until I got Sirius in my car. So it's like my favorite thing about my car. Because I listen to them every fucking morning. If I got to up, and it's like the old days, like when I first came to New York, and I get to listen to it.
They would birth the podcast, whether they realize it or not. They would birth the podcast because O&A was like podcasts, like this podcast. Like, we didn't even talk about what we were going to talk about. There's no fucking discussion whatsoever. I mean, obviously, you and I don't have to do that, but we wouldn't anyway. We just come in here and shoot the shit. That's all they ever did. Come on in, shoot the shit. What the fuck's going on? You know? Anthony would have a gun on him. Look. Fucking has a fucking gun everywhere to this day. That guy's favorite.
What the fuck are you doing back there, dude? Jesus. Like, I'm always trying to look for whoever's gonna be behind me, and as soon as I turn around, he fucking comes out. Oh, it's so frustrating. I hate this radar.
He would do this fucking thing. I'd always go in there dragging ass, and then like something like that would happen, and then it just felt like 2 in the afternoon somehow, and you look at your watch, it was like fucking 7:02 in the morning.
Do you remember when Anthony did Live from the Compound? He built a studio in his basement.
That's when I was like going, this is not gonna last. This guy's literally building. It's just like, it's like we're in business selling ice cream and I'm building my own ice cream parlor at home. No, John, I'm in this business with you. I knew like this.
They were gonna fall apart.
You know what's funny is what did that show and is also what made it great.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they used to play they used to play the Clint Eastwood thing. I always thought the theme of that show should have been wheels on the bus go round and round, because it was just like, and the thing was, you were on the bus, but you were outside it. You were you almost like, I always felt like when I went in there, that Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know, when Harrison Ford's on the hood and you're grabbing onto the hood and trying not to go underneath it. And some days you hung on, and then other days, except it didn't have the happy ending. You didn't have the whip.
They're all in here?
Do you remember the day we were there and Pat from Rocky threw up in Pat Duffy's
He's literally sitting there fucking listening to the game. Like, no, you're not allowed to relax on this game anymore. You gotta be listening to everything.
For some reason, I think Dan's voice sounded like
I'm gonna have to take off my podcast here and fucking sound horn.
No, your idea.
Can't even enjoy myself.
Was your idea. You were like the only thing that could top this. For those who didn't see it, this is such a brilliant idea. It was the eggnog drinking contest, and you had to do a double shot like it was bourbon, but it was eggnog, like every 30 seconds. Well, and the returning champion was Pat from Unaki, who had diabetes and lost a toe to it already. It was just sitting there. And then he continued to drink it. Oh, yeah. To do the bit that you came up with. I mean, there has to be like a, you know, when like a broadcaster can get into the Sports Hall of Fame just because, you know, he never played the game, but he like, you know, because of what he added to it. I always thought that Pat Unaki should have been like, this should have been like a Chick Hearn, Johnny Moe sort of award that he fucking with his help continued to drink. I remember when people posted that video, everyone was saying fake, this isn't real, and that made me enjoy it real. I was like, no, that was real, and I was there. There was plastic bags all over the ground.
Remember they put plastic everywhere, all over the ground, because they knew that people were going to throw up. They had the garbage can ready, and then Pat Duffy leans his head over the edge of the garbage can, and then Pat from Unaki just, here comes, you see him, and then it keeps coming. It keeps coming. It's like way crazier than Stand By Me.
You just went and it just fucking came out, and then somebody kept shutting it off. And every time, I mean, it was like
that timing. If I literally just sat on that head glitch, I would have picked up like 3 of them. That's what camping will get you in this game.
Oh, see, Fear Factor killed all that in me.
I'll tell the one that makes me gag. I start to gag. Is when there was the dude. Fucking watch it.
It was tremendous.
I'll say one quick. Okay, guys.
You're tearing up.
There was a dude who got knocked out. So then what he did was
20 seconds, I'm about to go get a cookie, bro.
No, I
don't have any. Oh, what? Look, I was about to leave.
And then he was drinking his own puke, trying to make the other people puke. So then somebody dared this guy to take a swig from it, and he had like this hipster Viking level beard, and he... I can't do it. This is like fucking 10 years later. He took this Viking level...
Why? How?
So he gave himself
what?
like a facial...
Do I not have Ghost on? What the fuck, dude? You're just sitting there aiming at the door? He was listening to me, man. I'm gonna have to use dead silence. Is that even a fucking perk?
That's the crazy thing about seeing so many people.
About to make me go Super Saiyan.
And I was like hanging on to the fucking table.
Yeah, we didn't realize that at the time. Those are some of the greatest moments of our life.
You know, you gotta forgive yourself that because you were in the moment.
Oh yeah.
I was feeling like melancholy when I was in Vegas, and I had, you know, I just sitting in my room smoking a cigar with Bobby.
There you are. There you were, the guy I was looking for behind me.
And
fucking barely coming out of that timing again. Come on.
Before they came over.
40 seconds, I'm gonna get a cookie for sure.
There was right before they imploded the sands of the dunes or something. They were starting to implode those old ones. And just walking up and down the strip, and the Rio was the new hot one, casino, and just all the great fucking times, that crazy fucking stories and all that. And then just walking around Vegas, being old now, and seeing all these young people, like, and you want to stop them and just be like, dude, if there's any way to take this in, do it, because, you know, at my age, if I was to continue doing that, you're just a creep. And I really respect younger people, where it's just like, this is their time. Let them have it. That's their club.
Yeah.
Don't be standing in there with your white whiskers and shit. Trying to listen to their DJ music. Just get the fuck out of there. Let them enjoy their generation's drugs. Let them have their fucking stories and just...
No.
Yeah. There's no way you can impart that on anyone, though. Tell them to soak it up and enjoy it. I had moments where I remember thinking when I was young, like, wow, this is a wild moment.
Well, I remember you that night, after the baby bird, you were at Caroline's. You were at Caroline's, and I went down there, and you had that fucking grin on your face. You're like, that's great radio. That's great radio. I was just like... I remember, I told the whole fucking story. I came home. Nia had just started living with me, and her friend was there. And I was telling them the story of what I saw that day. And I was laying on the ground, crying, laughing, telling, and then this guy did this. Do you remember the guy who was fucking, he would do his shot, and when anybody would puke, he would stand over in the corner and not face them. He was facing the corner, so we started calling him Blair Witch. Everybody got that.
Oh, what a
so
fucking...
I'm crying, laughing, and then gagging as I was telling the story. And then they weren't laughing, which made it even funnier to me. And then I just remember a friend at one point just was like, she was like, where did they find these people? And then that just set me over the top. I was like, I don't know. Just crying, laughing. But God bless them.
Yeah, where did they find these people? Well, that was the thing of, like, shock radio. Shock radio gets such a derogatory, it's got such a derogatory connotation.
Is this game almost over? Can I just leave this shit?
Oh, great. Shock radio. When you're a young...
I'm over kids fucking playing on head glitches like this.
And you're there in the moment. It's one of the greatest moments of your life.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You're not shocked if there's thought behind it. Shock is just like, oh, what happened?
No.
Those people. That's just basic level shit. Like, I remember when I was coming up, you know,
motherfucker,
just torn through the Boston scene, and then you got on some show.
How? Oh my
God.
God.
It was something else. Hardball. Yeah. and you were coming to the Kowloon. It's the first time I was going to see you do a set, and all these
Fucking
guys,
greatest in the world.
so
Oh my
dirty,
God.
so dirty, blah, 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 blah. And I watched your set, and it's like, this guy isn't dirty. There's like thought behind this. Like, anybody could do like a hand job joke, but your joke was like, you say, you ever a woman give you a hand job? It's like brushing your teeth with your left hand. I'm like, that's a fucking killer joke. It just happens to be about a hand job. Some people can't separate that.
Yeah. Well, that was back in the day where there was still a bunch of guys that were left over from the days where Stephen Wright made it by being on the Tonight Show. And there was this weird feeling to the air. You know, and they talk about it in when stand-up stood out, Franz Alameda's documentary, which is an amazing documentary.
Yeah, I love that.
But those guys...
Wait, 32v32 is ground war?
Just wild.
Right?
They were just
I think so.
They were doing blow. Yeah. They were getting in fights. They were chaotic. And then Stephen Wright got on the Tonight Show and became a fucking superstar. I mean, a gigantic national superstar. And everybody else was like, hey, what the fuck? What about me? And I came along after that. And there was this remnant of that there. Remember, you remember Chris Zito?
Yeah.
Chris Zito was giving me advice when I was an open micer. He was like, you can't swear. If you swear, you're never going to get on TV. He was telling me all this shit. And it was like, in his eyes, he was doing me a service.
Right.
Because that was in his eyes.
It came from a good place.
It came from a good place. Right. In his eyes. But I was like, fuck, he's going to make me quit. I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm like, I grew up watching Dice Clay and Sam Kinnis. And he goes, well, you're not Dice Clay. I'm like, okay.
It's like, well, neither were they until they were.
But it was bad advice from a guy who hadn't made it, right? He hadn't made it, but he was, at least he was a professional. And I was as far from making it as possible. I was an open mic. And I remember I went off stage one night, and he goes, Joe fucking Rogan. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe fucking Rogan. Did he say fuck enough? Like, in his eyes, he was like, look, I'm just telling you this because I care. Like, you're fucking up your career. So I had it in my head. I was like, well, I'm not going to do this then. In my head, I was like, I don't want to be that guy. Did you ever notice? I'm not that guy. That wasn't me. I like talking about shit that made my friends laugh when we were all sitting around drinking.
Right.
That's why I was in it. I was in it to talk about wild shit. Right. It didn't mean that you couldn't be clever and talk about wild shit, but I had never fit in anywhere in my life. So the idea of me fitting in, like on television, this is almost like too weird for me.
But like in defense of that, there was like 9,000 stand-up shows on TV that you could get on, and you could become. It wasn't just the Tonight Show, because the Tonight Show was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But then there was the Comedy on the Road. There was even at the Improv,
half-hour comedy hour.
Half-hour comedy. It was all of this shit, and so that's what they were guiding towards. And then I had the tail end of that. And then...
Well, you started in 92.
92. So when I came, it was the tail end of that, work clean, and then it was, talk about your family so they could build a show around you so you could do a sitcom. And I remember thinking, like, I don't want to do a sitcom.
Yeah, you can't say that. Everybody had this idea in their head that there was only one way to do it. The beautiful thing about all that shit imploding is that there's none of that now. Now comedy is comedy. And when you see kids coming up now, you know, you go to see the guys at the store that are like doormen and open micers, and I say guys, girls too. Allie McCoskey, I take her on the road with me all the time.
Whoa!
23. You know, she's just getting it together now. She's in that stage now. She's like 5 years in. They just want to do comedy, man. These kids just want to do comedy.
Well, there's people now who, because comedy's doing so well, stand up. There's people.
What just happened?
Like, weren't comedians, made it as something else, and now are thinking about doing stand up.
Right. Yeah.
Do you guys how lucky we are that we're doing it now? That's what I would think. As I said it to my wife when I was in Vegas, I was like, you believe I get to do this? And I'm going to hang it and fucking...
As long as I've been doing it, I still love it. I love it as much now as ever. Maybe more now than ever. I mean, I don't have to do it. I'll do 5-6 shows a fucking week in town. And I love it.
No, that's why you're great. Because I always felt the guys that never stopped going to the club. Look, if you continue to tour and you become like a draw, you don't have to go to the clubs in LA, but I feel you pay a price for that because those kids coming up, you're getting something from them too. As much as they're watching you going, oh wow, you know, you're that guy that I saw.
Fucking went pro.
And you know, now I'm doing a show with you, and it's just like, kid, you're keeping me young because, like, just being around them, you stay current.
Yes.
And it's why Dom Herrera kills just as hard in 2019 as he did in 2009, 99, 89, is because that fucking guy never stopped going to the gym.
Yes.
And stays in there. So I get something out of going to see, I get, something out of watching Dom, out of watching you, and then I'm watching some new kid coming up, and just being in all of that keeps you, like, current. Because if you don't, you start getting like a must. There's like a fucking, that old person dying smell starts to start wafting on your act.
Yeah, if you're only doing it to your crowd too, I think there's a problem there too. But one of the beautiful things about the store is there's 15 guys on the show that they're there to see everybody. They look at the lineup, they go, oh shit, Bill Burr, oh shit, Crystal Lee, oh, Nikki Glazer's on. They see all these great comics. I do too.
Crystal Lee is like from the get-go, I can see it, remind me like of a Boston guy. We're just like, it's like this guy's a legit headliner.
Just trying to kill. Just trying to kill. That's all he's doing.
No, and then his concept of killing, I thought was Boston.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's and particularly because he's always at the store.
That right there is
the last match.
No, that right there is how I live my life.
A match?
That's the hardest fucking way to do something.
Why do you do that? I do a lot of things that way, but not when it's ineffective. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I both like it.
Well, that's where we're different. Yeah, see, I like that. Like, I feel if I was gonna go out and go kill something cute and fuzzy, if I fucking had a, total hypocrite because I am a mediator anyways, if I used a bow and arrow, I would feel like an accomplishment. I watched Ted Nugent kill a bear, which I could never do. When there's all these fucking places to just get a chicken sandwich. Do I really need to make a fucking, the bear double cheeseburger?
Do you want to try some? I have bear sausage in the freezer right there. Would you try it if I gave it to you?
No. Real? No, because I went to the zoo one time and I saw this bear. And it was
oh my god, this thing's fucking so inaccurate.
It had its arms, its front legs, fucking like, it looked like it was sitting in a jacuzzi, like a lounge. And we pulled up on the bus to look at it. It was just, the way it looked, I kind of met eyes with the thing, and I knew it was thinking.
Pull like the video of the bear killing the deer in the backyard while it's eating it alive, and the deer screaming. Well, because you need to know what a bear really is. When you see bears in real life, you go, oh, that's what that thing is.
You think the bear would just punch it in the head to stop hearing it?
See that? Look at that thing.
No, it's taking it by the neck.
No, it's taking chunks out of it, bro. The reason why that thing's screaming is because it's biting its back. Okay,
it sounds like me trying to touch my toes every morning. You know what's hilarious? You know what my daughter does? When she likes to stretch with me, she thinks it's funny, and she makes those noises. She's supposed to. So she goes, I want to stretch that, and then she goes, like I have like a foam roller, and she'll come up, she'll look at me, she'll smile, and it's funny, she sits on it because she doesn't know how to use it. She sits down, and she just goes,
that's hilarious.
And my wife laughs at me, going, she's imitating how old you look.
My kids are allowed to hit me as hard as they can. I teach them. They're taking martial arts classes, but I teach them. And one of the things I do is I have them.
I need some advice in that area because I want my daughter to know how to do it.
Jiu-jitsu. I'll get you a good school near you. But I let my kids leg kick me full blast. Just full blast. I show them how to do it where the shin slams into the set. No. I let them fucking slam it. Well, I've been doing it. I've been kicked by a lot.
But there's an attrition to that.
No. You're fine.
That's right. You're 2019 on the inside. He's got rest of long legs.
I let them slam their shit. It fucking hurts, man. But I'm letting them know. Like if anybody ever fucks you, if somebody fucks you over, some kid wants to get into a fight, some girl is picking on you, slam one of these bitches right into her fucking thigh. Like it hurts me to bait over. Yeah. And teach them how to defend themselves. It's also important that they understand what it feels like to be in conflict with someone. Like when I enrolled them in martial arts classes when they were young. My one daughter was 4, the other one was 6 when we first started doing it. And it's cool to watch them grapple to these things. And this is what's good is like you know what it's like to struggle with something. It's not an alien thing for you to struggle with a person. When I watch my youngest daughter grapple with this boy and trip him and slam him onto the ground and get on his knee, and then the instructor's like, "Good job, try again." And they do it again. Like you know what it's like. Because otherwise,
memory.
Yeah, well, otherwise it's it's on freeze on. Yeah, your mind doesn't know what happens when someone's trying to do something to you. Whereas if you've done it, it's not alien. I mean, it's not like you should do it. You definitely shouldn't do it to someone if they don't want to do it to you. If someone senses that you're scared of conflict, it's one of the surest signs you're gonna get fucked. And that was me a lot of my life. Well, it was me a lot of my life, man. I've had both. You know, I went from being a kid who was terrified of conflict to being a martial arts champion. The reason why I became a martial arts champion is because I was being picked on all the time. The kids were always fucking with me. I was like, I don't like this. I'm like, so I'm going to become what I'm terrified of.
I should have done that. I was just like, well, school ends at 3. You realistically only do this for another 2 hours and 45 minutes. I went the other way. Remember that? Remember that? They used to have to teach you, like, and they would have the 2 people, you know, what Eddie right way, you know, Mikey bad way. We should do that. Do a little, we'll make a kid's book. Me, young me with a fucking orange afro. You know, there's only 2 hours and 45 minutes, not knowing that, no, 2 hours and 45 minutes, all the authority is going to be gone. Right. You know? That's the scary thing now about with mixed martial arts going mainstream. Okay? And there's no ref to get in there.
Like that video.
Yes. That's what is scary. And then everybody, like I think with young kids, it's like, oh, I want to be the guy going, oh! You know, that's who they want to be. No one wants to be the ref to jump in and say, stop.
They want to get on World Star.
World Star, they want to do that. They all want to have it and then post it and get it to have some hits. Like, that's like, you know, I mean, I'm not shitting on it. That's what I would be doing if I was young.
I got a video pulled off of Facebook and Instagram, and I got a community strike, a community guideline strike, because there was violence against minors. But it was a kid who was picking on another kid. He wouldn't stop fucking with this kid. And then finally the kid just pushed him away.
How desperate are you to kill me?
Put up a stance like he's ready to fight. The kid came after him. He kicked him, grabbed him, slammed him on the ground, and got him in an armbar. And, you know...
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, that was great. It was a fucking amazing video.
How many shots that movie?
But it was a lesson. Like, this is why it's good to learn martial arts. Because this kid was a cunt. And he was fucking with this kid, and the kid knew how to fight. Right. So I put it up there. Like, look, this is the benefits of learning a martial art.
Yeah, and then those people who their heart's in the right places don't post that because that's going to make kids fight other kids. Like, no, that's... You're not going to, like, through words and hashtags, stop having kids
be kids.
Be kids, and it's gonna happen, and it's
gonna happen. I mean, the idea that you're gonna protect kids from reality by that is just so silly. You're not gonna stop people from doing things to you. You gotta understand what is happening when people do those things.
Oh, teammate, why the hell would you open that door like that?
And then the best part is other kids see you do that, and then you become the kid. Oh no, fuck with that kid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kid will disappear.
Yeah. That's what I want to be. Yeah, I want to be the nice kid who can fight.
What the hell is our teammate on top of him?
You know, I went through the entire.
That should be written somewhere. Yeah. Be the nice kid that knows how to fight.
There's a lot of those kids now. There's so many more. Getting in a fight in school today with someone you don't know is a risky proposition. There's so many kids that know jiu-jitsu, so many kids that take Muay Thai.
Everything is on another level. You should see these fucking kids coming up playing drums.
Oh yeah.
Just the shit that they can do it's fucking bananas. Nobody can do it. This kid's doing shit that's beyond, as far as independence. Okay, what they're doing is beyond what I saw a lot of guys when I first started buying VHS tapes. Drum instructional videos. Now they don't have the seasoned, they don't necessarily have the feel and all of that and know how to apply it necessarily in a musical sense because that just comes with experience. But what they have in their fucking arsenal for chops is fucking insane.
Contested?
Yeah, because you're jamming with the world now. So it becomes, oh, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna, you know. Now the people who do it the most basic level, me, is I just see what somebody does and I try to learn how to do it. And I've only now, since doing comedy, going like, oh, I'm like a joke thief, except I just took that guy's move that he just came up with. And you're supposed to be inspired by it to turn it into something else, or work on something else that you're doing. That's like another level that, you know, eventually you get to, I think, as a musician you do. As far as me watching it, not as a musician. But, like, just seeing what these kids can physically fucking do. It's incredible.
Should put the claimer on that side.
The bass players. I saw the one that went viral. There was this little girl from, like, Japan played Good Times, Bad Times like it was nothing. And Robert Plant is watching it. Like, it's, yeah. And he's used something. It's like she's falling off a log, which meant, like, it was nothing. It was nothing to her. I've been trying to play those fucking triplets my whole life, but I still don't have it down. I'm just like, fuck.
What is it about? Is it just kids learn quicker because they don't have as much shit in their head?
Well, back in the day,
what the fuck?
When you heard something, first of all, you had cassette tapes, you had to keep fucking rewinding it, and you're at the mercy of your own bedroom. Like, there's nobody in there, okay? And then when you had the record, you could maybe slow it down, okay? But even then, you're slowing it down, there's still the bass, you're trying to get everything in it, it's hard to fucking hear. Nowadays, somebody who's a fucking expert or whatever, so-called expert, because, you know, the guys who actually play, you know, there's a lot of people teaching them what the fuck they're doing, like the martial arts shit they show. They'll break the whole fucking thing. Yeah. Is this her? Yeah. And her little cute fucking, she's adorable little socks. Look at those fucking triplets she's doing. It's like it's nothing. Socks. Look at her cute little bag of
why is
oh
my
god, it's adorable.
No, she's killing it. That's the thing too. Is she's not just doing what John did. She's playing it.
Is she playing too Led Zeppelin? No, we can't.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like okay? You can't play.
Like she's smiling like. That's the look I had to fix my. Somebody gave me an ice cream.
How old do you think she is?
7, 8.
She's a killer. I think it's awesome that you're into music. It's another thing. Like, and I was thinking that too when you were taking me up in the helicopter ride. Like, you do these other things and you get really into them.
I'll tell you what's crazy. Right now, I'm going for my instrument rating. That's basically fly in like if you come into a city and like the whole city's covered with clouds and you can't fucking see anything. How to use your instruments? Yeah, this is what separates the men from the boys, right? So it's something that was really intimidating, so finally I decided to do it. So the guy I'm taking the lessons from, I don't know if I should say this. I just don't want to blow up people. I never know how much private they want to be. So I fucking go in there, because somebody goes, oh, I know the guy. I know the fucking guy. My instructor goes, I got the best fucking guy in LA. So I go to his house, because I'm going to fly on a simulator, which is going to save me a ton of fucking money. Initially, and then eventually. So you know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing when you start spending a bunch of money flying.
What does the simulator look like?
His simulator is literally a computer screen. He just has like an airplane yoke and a throttle thing. That's all it is. But it's getting you to look at, like, you have a 6-pack of gauges, and then you have these other two, these OBS or whatever. It's a bunch of shit. I don't want to fucking try to explain here. But you're looking at that. That becomes your eyes. That becomes looking out the window is looking at your fucking gauges, and it's unbelievably claustrophobic and fucking terrifying if you got into that type of weather and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's how you die. Okay? Now, so anyways, I go over to this guy's fucking house. He's, hey, how you doing? I'm so-and-so, what's going on? I walk into his house. He's got a whole music studio in there with a fucking Grammy. He has his whole other fucking life where he like won a Grammy last year for writing a song in some major fucking superhero movie, and he's like a prodigy piano player. And then we go in and he got into flying and just took it to the level that he became an instructor. And I just sit across from the guy in awe, going, all of that is fucking in that. It's fucking unbelievable. Like what if you put your mind to shit, what you can accomplish is crazy. Or you see, it's really meeting somebody who's doing that inspires you. Like, oh, all right, I think I can do this. So like before I came over here, I was like outlining like fucking chapter 4 in the fucking thing, but there's all like gauges and shit and little question marks and stuff. It's like, all right, I'm gonna figure out how to do this, and it's becoming less intimidating. But I haven't gone up yet. But just as far as like getting back to like these kids, because the fact that she's 8 and can do that, she hasn't got credit card debt. She's not in some fucking relationship dating some loser kid who's playing videos all day, games all day, and she has to come up with her half the rent. She has this whole fucking wonderment, and shit is like kids, like they're positive, that like stuff is possible. It's fucked.
Dude, what the? That kid's costing the kills. No. Why are you rushing me?
Free, all the nonsense of life.
I'm not wired that way. It's weird. I think that's why I'm not into speed when driving. I like to do it every once in a while, but like I like cruising along because it relaxes me. It kind of shuts down the fucking thunder and lightning of like, oh, let's do this for 10 minutes, and I'll do this for fucking 6 minutes, blah blah blah, and all that shit. So, yeah, I drive in like the right lane.
Well, you and I are very similar in that way. That we have a bunch of other shit that we do. We get into shit like heavily into something else.
Yeah, if I get into it, it does hurt me a little bit because I'm starting to find like I don't know what's going on in the world, which is scary as a comic. So I gotta dip back in, but.
It's healthier though.
Well, my wife, but you also have to know what's going on. You kind of got to know who's current in music.
Yeah.
Like I learned that when I needed a reference for a pop star, and I did it at a college, and like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. Last time I did a fucking college gig. And
the tank is so busted. Yeah, dude, this thing is
like it just died.
Sometimes the accuracy on this one is so annoying. It's like one of those old musket.
Oh
wait. Like one of the old Civil War American guns. Where are you?
Her and Ariana Grande are out, but we just got her comments.
Right, but sing with yeah, like 190,000 million fucking Instagram. I mean, she's got 160 or something crazy.
130 and 160.
Dude, this guy is juking my shit.
Handling that in her 20s.
Oh, hell no.
Good luck when you're old.
Wait, think you're gonna get away with that shit?
Posted the day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs they did when he was younger and how much he fucked them up. And
motherfucker.
now he's just got a relationship with the Lord.
Oh, can I get out of here?
He's married.
Yes.
He's trying to be a normal person. He's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
Yeah. That's not something I would, I like seeing people become successful. That's not something I would wish on somebody.
No, it's not.
You almost wish like he made it now.
Yes.
But even then, he's still a kid. He's like 24, 25.
But better now than making it at 6. When you're a little kid, you become famous, and you're the one calling the shots. You realize all these people you're responsible for their income.
What am I doing?
Your brain's still developing, and everybody's saying yes around you. Yeah.
It's still developing now. Your frontal lobe isn't fully formed until you're 25.
We're going this way. There's a tank coming for us.
He's a baby.
More kill.
He's trying to figure it out. He's already. They were roasting him on Comedy Central 4 years ago. It's crazy. He's already had like 900 million dollars.
Yeah. He had accomplished enough by like 22 to get roasted.
Yeah. I mean, most people get roasted. They're like fucking my age. Alec Baldwin, the one that just did.
You're not gonna die.
Yeah, I love that guy. Big fan of his. I don't know.
Just gotta stay away from the other tank.
I actually was on a flight one time and he was sitting next to me. Really? I was like, I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm not gonna bug him. And then he just leaned over with that matinee idol voice. He's like, do you fly often? I was like, yes, I do. And what I found with him was if you just talked about anything other than him, him being him, he would totally talk. But the second I ever veered towards what he did, he just didn't have any interest in talking. So I was like, all right, I get it. Let's. So this time I did talk. I just would talk about, anything but that.
Have you ever sat next to someone who's like, hey, how do you come up with your material?
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
it's fucking red eyes.
This is how I come up with it.
Yeah. What was that one guy? Where you going, Bill? What was that one story?
Oh, God, that guy. That poor guy. He was on something. He got all paranoid. He had some sort of military background. He was going to save the whole plane.
I had this idea that you were a bad guy. That was a hilarious story.
Hey, whoa,
He had the idea that I was acting fidgety and nervous.
Because he was fidgety and nervous.
No,
oh, was that the other tank blasting me?
I think I was probably fucking thinking of 50 things at the same time. I was acting that way, but he took it to the whole and left. Yeah, he stopped the plane.
Oh!
I'm gonna push that button.
Dude, how come I didn't see him on the map?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that whole story.
Alright.
Right? Oh, Jesus. People that think they have good instincts and their instincts suck are the worst. Like, people think, I'm just gonna... Actually, you don't.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, I should put this gun away already.
Know shit, and as you learn shit, and you think, oh, I'm starting to know, oh my god, there's all this other stuff.
There's a tank. Let me get in the tank.
Yeah. And then there's other people, they learn a little bit, and then they're this authority.
Yeah, dude.
Trump.
I should have came back and picked up a new tank. Is this not even new? Wow, they've been shooting this one.
How did they resolve that? I don't remember.
Easy 20 kills just with these tanks, bro.
It's just something I dwelled on. I just remembered the stewardess.
You just gotta get the spawn right.
Talking to us like we're children.
The right spawns.
Like, are you two gonna be okay next to each other? And I'm just like, I'm fine. I don't know what this guy's doing. And he continued to yammer at me until he just passed out. And then I think when we finally landed, he was kind of sober. And I think he was starting to feel a little stupid, I think. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. That's another.
Who the hell called that? Where was he? How was he so close to me that he did that?
Alright, I'm gonna let you introduce the next topic. I don't know where to go with that guy's fucking. Maybe he got eaten by a bear?
Tanks out here.
If you had to be eaten by any animal, what would it be?
Oh, the bigger the better. Shark, over quick. No, not shark. I don't like that because I don't like my head being here and the evil's under here. Like, it just... And it's gonna take a bite out of me first to see if I'm edible. And then you're just sitting there, you know, missing a chunk of your leg going, please don't let me taste good. Please don't let me taste good. Let him just fucking leave.
It's interesting. Sharks used to be, if you caught a shark, people were happy. You got that fucking thing out of the water. Good. Like when fishermen would bring a shark, people would get excited. Now you're a monster.
Well, there's this thing that I follow about sharks on Instagram. And, like, it's fucked. This person found a tiger shark. 18-footer or some shit, right? And, she went down the...
That is not what I want to do. I was trying to call my UAV.
And had, like, some fishing line.
Okay.
And, like, took it out. Okay? And this can't be real. And then somehow she ran into the thing again. In the ocean. And she was petting it like a fucking lapdog. Trying to suggest that this thing knew her and was happy and respect. I mean, the way they cut it together, and of course the music always takes you emotionally where they want you to go. But I was just watching that whole thing going like, it's good that you did that, but I don't think you're at the, I can now, this tiger shark has talked to all the other tiger sharks. No, Bill's cool.
Do you remember Beastmaster, the TV show? No, there was a dude. He was like a jack dude. He had like big bracelets on.
That was the worst place to call the street.
He would like land on his shoulder and shit. Eagles would land on his arms. All the animals would listen to him. It's not a really stupid show.
Because there's nothing humble about that name.
Where's the stairs at?
Beastmaster. See, they're allowing you to live, and you're
got it. There he is.
Yeah, you gotta have the Tarzan hair.
Who was the guy in Beastmaster?
Was it a TV show?
No, it was a
that
was a TV show. I think it was a TV show. What was a TV show? That guy, like, had this special relationship.
What? Is he on the roof?
The fucking...
he must be on the roof.
With the animals. They all listened to him. Oh, yeah, they knew he had a sword, too. So it's
a big dick, too.
I don't really know how to get up there.
It's like hanging down below his knees.
If you don't have a big dick, the lion is not going to listen to you. Look, that eagle's landing on his arm. Yeah, this was like the Conan the Barbarian days. Like after Conan, the movie, was a giant hit. There was a lot of dudes with their shirts off holding swords. Holding swords, it was a thing.
Telling lions where to go.
Yeah. There was
I'll tell you one thing that I would never do in acting is I will never, ever I probably shouldn't say this.
Guy's still up here.
Working with monkeys, aside from you know it's going to be a bad movie. There's just no fucking way. I worked with a writer who got attacked by a monkey when he was a kid. And it was just one of those organ grinder ones.
Alright.
Those fucking, the eating disorder monkey, you know? After he eats all the bananas, it goes and pukes. It's a show business, man. It's got a dance.
There's about a storm in here.
And they're fat monkeys.
Oh, here they come.
Talking about, like,
Here they come.
Clarity and understanding of monkeys just by getting attacked by one.
Look, analog stick is broken again.
He goes, you do like you're good for about 18, 20 minutes,
Whoa.
and then the monkey just starts fucking acting crazy, and then eventually it just.
How's that even burning me? If I was on the other side of the wall.
You go to a circus, like a bear doesn't want to ride a bicycle. So what did they do to that fucking thing to make it give in?
What the?
Yeah, and it's a bear. So eventually it's gonna become a bear again. You know?
That was
something's gonna like those circus, all that shit. It's just that it's inevitable, like what you're doing.
Yeah, circus is dark because what they do to elephants.
What the fuck, dude?
Bears. There's a great.
How am I like the other day? You can see now.
It's horrible.
Do you have any happy videos of animals just existing?
I don't save those.
I know you don't.
Just chilling out. There's a video of a chimp riding a bike and a bear riding a bike. And the chimp tripped up the bear somehow. And they crashed. And the bear grabs a hold of the chimp and just rips it apart in front of everybody.
Oh no. Please let me get there before the tank does.
So the bear's riding and the chimp's riding and they collide. And when they collide, the bear is fucking furious at the chimp. It just starts fucking wrecking like road.
I killed myself with that grenade.
Goes down. And he tries to help him get back on the bike. Is this it? Is the one? Oh, he's got the chimp right there? Oh yeah, it's too late.
I thought they had a muzzle on the fucking thing.
Not this time, they trusted him. So he just fucks up that chimp and he can't get it away from him. That's not even a big bear, it's a small bear.
That's fucking huge. Would you want to fight that guy in a bar?
No.
That guy that stocky, that hairy coming at you? That George Animal Steel.
Oh no, the recoil on this gun.
You know, let's get
there's no getting away from this.
I like it took him that long to stand up to realize that's not.
Can I just wait this shit out, bro? Like I'm just feeding that fucking Harrier thing kills.
Is he ripping them apart? Like,
can you imagine that used to be
fucking game,
used
dude,
to be like,
please.
you know, covered wagon, you pull into town. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. And there was a show. And then, you know, you have a minstrel show, and people would sing and do puppets, and there'd be a play. And, yeah, that's, I mean, when do you think the first guy got up and told jokes and made people laugh? Like, when was our first? Oh, who's that guy? He wrote that great book on the history of stand-up. And it was a guy like Frank Fay or something like that. Was the first guy that went out there. Like, I don't need to have like a fucking hula hoop and spinning plates. And he just went out and was like, I'm just gonna tell stories and make them like. He kind of did a monologue type of thing. But he was the first guy.
Yeah, if I have it right. I think it was the 20s. And then in the 40s, he was actually on the side of the fascists. He was a fascist, yeah.
There's tactical insurgents?
In this country that, you know...
No way, dude. I'm about to use that.
Was necessarily wrong.
Fucking keep spawning up in buildings.
History, forget about this country, humanity.
Dude, that's
like,
so clutch.
There's always been that. So, what fucked his career, if I'm remembering this correctly, this could be like fucking... I hope I'm saying the right guy. He ended up doing this.
Frank Fay stand-up.
He did this show. I guess that's earlier when he's doing the props. He's come out dressed like he's in the Foreign Legion. But he did a show right after World War II, right after he won, and it was a pro-fascist rally in New York City, and he was the big name. He signed on to do it, and the night was called the Friends of Frank Fay.
The first stand-up comic was a fascist.
I know. I can't say. I don't know. But then there's other people that I got a buddy of mine that will argue that Mark Twain.
Yeah, Samuel Clemens. Yeah.
Will argue that he was the first stand-up. So I don't know really necessarily. I think it just sort of poked its head up and then dumped back down, like somebody improv the line. Like, hey,
oh no!
Like, you know. Saying it went good. Yeah. And they got sick of lugging shit around or something. I don't know what it was. But,
did you ever see Lenny Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah. It's fucking great, man.
I mean, he really came off like a comic. It really seemed like he was Lenny Bruce.
No,
is there an issue here?
Incredible acting.
Yeah.
I actually went down a rabbit hole, looking up a bunch of shit about him. And, oh no, it wasn't that.
Take a head.
I went down this rabbit hole because he's fucking, talk about like, before 9/11, like what you could do, and then still walk around a free man like 18 months later. It was crazy. Like these people on the Upper East Side, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. It was really radicalized time, like the 60s, early 70s. I don't know what the fuck, somewhere around that time. These people were making up.
Alright.
Yeah, and like these rich kids or some shit, because it was like in a townhouse on the Upper East Side. And Dustin Hoffman had one on that block, close enough to it, and you know, these fucking idiots blew themselves up, blew the fucking building up, and fucked with his townhouse. And there's a picture of him, if you can find it, is he grabbed some piece of expensive art that he had bought, got it out of his house, and it's a picture of a young Dustin Hoffman walking up the street. Yeah. This poor guy, like, had the balls to go after a dream. You know, you think it's hard making it as a comic. I don't even know how the fuck he made it as an actor. Now, forget about then. Yeah, look at it. Blew up their whole fucking thing. And he's like, I made it. I'm on the Upper East Side. Everything's great. And then these
fucking, this building's missing.
Yes. Oh my God. Something close enough to yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's crazy. It's like all the building to the left's fine, the building to the right's fine, and that building's obliterated.
Yeah, I'm sure that there was some damage done to those other ones, so...
But it's crazy how the one in the middle is just missing.
No, but if you look it up, like, the jail time that they got, well, I mean, you know, obviously the person who was down there, the people down there died, I think, but then they figured out who was in control of them. But on the townhouse on the Upper East Side. Listen, Jimmy's been a little, you know, distant. Your Honor, you know, they love the same fucking party.
Yeah, you can get away with shit before the internet. They passed around some cash. Do you ever see a documentary?
Yeah, that chick who shot fucking Andy Warhol. Barely did any fucking time, and then years later, how he died. I always thought,
like that's gonna fucking hit him.
Just doing drugs and partying. But I think it was complications from the bullet. Yeah, when you get like shot. Like I also think you got like brain damage. Well, when you get shot in the gut too, that's like the fucking worst, because all that shit that breaks down your food seeps in, like the infections and the shit that happens. Oh yeah, it's horrific. What did you shoot?
What the?
I don't know. I'm not saying anybody was a great fucking person here, but that's never a solution. But the jail time that person got was ridiculously short. And then he's got to live the rest of his life dealing with the fallout of what that person did to him. And then also knowing that crazy chick is out there.
Wasn't the guy who shot Reagan out now?
No. I think they were going to let him out, and he was like, no, guys, no, you don't want to do that. I think he said that.
I thought they let him out.
My memory isn't the greatest. I'm probably combining all three of these stories, and it's actually about...
He's out?
Quick, he says he's released. So.
What's his name again? John Hinckley.
Yeah. You should look up everything I say. Actually, Bill, it's completely the other direction.
Do you ever watch the documentary on the Weathermen? Do you remember the Weathermen? No. The Weathermen were a radical terrorist group from the 60s. Was it the 60s or the 70s?
That's the British bombing has something to do with that. There's like a group called the Students of Democratic Society, which is an offshoot of the Weathermen. I'm going to just look at the Wikipedia.
Were they radicalized rich white kids?
Maybe.
Well, one of the guys who was one of the Weathermen went on to become a professor at a university in Chicago, and that was one of the things that they were talking about when Obama was running for president. He's friends with a terrorist because he knew this guy from his university days.
Right.
Because
wasn't that like the idea of Fight Club, that the Project Mayhem, stuff like that? You know what I'm talking about? That's the same sort of idea where they just want to fuck up all sorts of different things in society.
Oh my god, I'm so ass.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we should ask Chuck when he was in here. But the weathermen, anyway, the documentary was crazy. They wanted to take down society. They wanted to take down the government, so they were doing acid and having orgies and showing up to places blowing things up.
And there was no, like, so then we can rebuild it? It was just like, let's just fuck it up?
I mean, I think there's a lot of anarchists, a lot of people in their youth where they want to just tear the whole fucking thing down. You know, I was having a conversation with my wife about this, really interesting. Just the other day we were out at dinner, when she was young, she had a rough childhood, and she was hoping that society would fall apart, because her life was a mess, and other people's lives were great. And she had this thing in her head, like, she hoped society crumbled, because then everything would be fucked all over the world.
Dude, we have everything capped, but I feel like I'm being fucking shit on.
Okay. And I'm like, that's really interesting. Yeah, really interesting, because her insight, the way she was talking about it, was like, because she was remembering that very specifically when she was young. You know, chaotic.
That's why that Tarantino was so, like, funny. I loved it. I don't think they ever say hippie without saying fucking. Fucking hippies.
Well, there's always been people like that, right? Some people want to take that whole fucking thing down, you know?
I want to know when you could buy that movie and own it. Like, what else? Because back in the day, you just buy, like, the DVD. Because that is like you going on tour. That's going to be a Goodfellas movie for me, where I'm going to watch that thing 5,000 times in my life and always see something new in it. And then it becomes like the second time I saw it, I realized how great the actor playing, I'm trying to talk about this Surface.
Yeah, don't give me spoiler alerts.
Well, this guy, he plays a director that's going to direct Leonardo DiCaprio. And, like, what that guy does with that role and how many jokes. You don't have to be in show business. How fucking funny that guy is. It's like, you know, the 90th time I watched Goodfellas, I realized how funny that guy was, the guy who had the wigs. Like, his character. Yeah, how fucking hilarious. And how great that guy played that degenerate gambler. Because the first time you watch it, it's
what
like
Joe
Pesci and De Niro, you're seeing all of those guys, and then you start to like Frankie Carbone, and you know, the roast beef guy and all of that shit, but then you just watch it, and like, it's like everybody is great in this.
Yeah.
Everybody took like one or two lines, and everybody just like hit a home run.
You know what freaked me out in that movie that I couldn't believe? The violence against women. Like the scenes, the fight scenes. I don't want to give anything away. But there was something where you're like, whoa, you could still do this in a movie? Yeah. Like, holy shit.
That's my favorite movie from Tarantino. But I saw an interview one time, they were saying, yeah, I was trying to write movies and stuff, you know, and they were going like, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was like, wait, whatever the fuck I want. I said, that's my movies are great.
Yeah.
Whether you like them or not, you just like, that's the comic I want to watch. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Good, I want to see you totally unfiltered.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, there's a time and a place, I think, to be filtered.
Dude, I am so blind.
There's no sense just going in and showing your ass. I mean, if somebody hires you for a private gig, and they go, okay, perform between these two lines. You're not Lenny Bruce if you go in there and you go outside. You're a fucking asshole, right? Because you agreed to do this.
Right, you do a corporate gig or a Christian church.
Right, but if you're at like a comedy club, it's like, no, you're a guest.
Yeah.
You came into a nightclub, so this isn't, if you don't like it, you leave. But this on
I came to see you specifically, and all the other people did too. And the one or two people that get upset, well, you're the problem. The other people are there to see this kind of shit.
It's
so rare to see.
Selfish. It'd be like if I went to a restaurant and I didn't like the meal, and then the chef owed me an apology and had to change his menu.
And you didn't want anybody else to eat. Stop.
Yeah.
I hate this food.
And if you go in there and eat off of that menu, then you're part of the fucking problem. And I'm going to try to take you down too.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a problem with this fucking chicken and dumplings, whatever the fuck he's making. Strange time.
Strange.
Best name special. I feel it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what else to call it. It's just, that's all I could think of.
I like it because it's not, you're not punching him in the, it's strange. It's a weird time.
Yeah. Paper tiger.
Yeah.
How long do you think you're going to wait until you do another one? Do you have an idea in your head? You're going to try to do 2 years? What are you trying to do? Do you have a set schedule?
I never think that. No, because that takes the enjoyment out of it. It's like more like, I I had a bit that I was doing. First time I told the story in my new hour, 2 women like yelled out simultaneously. And they yelled the same thing, which means they whispered to each other, let's yell this in 3, 2, 1. And I go, oh, go fuck yourself. I got into that with them. And then they went upstairs, and I'm like, it's a comedy club. I know they're still there. Because comedy club security is the worst. It's the worst.
What the?
They don't know how to kick people out. So I went upstairs. I had to put the hoodie up and all of that shit. They said they were at the bar. I walked by, and then I go outside the club, took the hoodie up, and then they were there, and then we got into it again. And I was just like, you don't even know me. Go fuck yourselves. You know what the fuck I'm saying. Fuck you. Fucking.
What were they mad at?
Just my perception on something. I was telling a fucking story, right? So, and it had to do with a lesbian. So that, and then it was the wrong show to do it on, because I think it was kind of a gay show. I mean, I went up there, they had paper cutouts of dicks all over the place, so I'm like, alright. But it's a comedy club, so I'm telling the story I want to tell. So I told the story, you know. So it took me a little while, you know, kind of, that pretty much of me was like, you know, I don't want to have that kind of interaction with people. So I've just been, you know, working the bit out. And then, like, you know, I did the joke the other night at the Laugh Factory. And the exact person from that group came up to me, told me she loved the joke, and she was just like, I feel like you were describing
Why did I? Oh
like,
my god, there's a whole nother seat over there.
And, you know, as people say, like, when you're working on a joke, I can't do it at home.
Yeah.
I have to go out there and just start throwing shit against the wall and see how to piece this stuff together. So, to go back to, like, when are you going to do a special again? Like, I enjoy this part too much to,
Oh, I should have went for that tank.
yeah, to be thinking about, like, you know, then you're like, okay, I'm doing this special, taking it here, and then I'm in the bubble. And then every night I go on stage, and it's just like, okay, no, I gotta do this, and maybe what if I open with this, and what if I put that, and it just becomes, you know, there's this added weight to it that makes it like, you know, the opposite reason, the entire reason why I got into this business was not to have a fucking real job. I wanted to have fun. So this, which just goes back to what I was talking about you when I was watching. I was like, fuck, Joe's on the other side. He shot his special, and now he's going down. And as much as it can be frustrating putting it together, he's having fun every night. Seeing, all right, where's this idea gonna go? Is this gonna lead? Is this some, like, when I'm putting together a new hour, like, I have some of the hackiest shit ever, and I take all of those rules and throw them out the window. I don't give a fuck if you see me doing these jokes, and most of them don't live, but some of them grow into something that's, yeah, and then it's not hacky, and now it's this thing that then shoots off into this, and then you just start spinning off over here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I got like 8 minutes. I got 12 minutes.
They're seeds, right?
Yeah, it's starting to come together. So when people go down there, and it's literally like, it's not even done. You're just starting to draw, and they're reacting to it, saying it sucks, and it's like, it's not done. I'm just,
Yeah, I agree with you. It sucks.
yeah.
Oh, stop shaking.
This is how it worked out. But some people know that. Some people understand that. Some people think they're coming to see a finished product. Most people now, today, in 2019.
Yeah, crowds are great.
Yes.
It's just one person in 50 shows complains, and it's, you know, because there's so much shit to look at. Like, controversy gets people to stop at your website, and then you get credit from the advertisers on the side, and then they gas up shit, and they you know, I saw a guy recently talking, he goes, yes, wait, everybody on the internet hates me, but I walk down the street and everybody loves me. So it's just like, so what's really going on there? What's going on is the small percentage that don't like you is being shown to be the majority.
You know, well, it's a very vocal minority who get upset about things. And they're adamant about it, and they're very active. That's what the people that are upset about certain things, people that are, they're really responsive to outrage culture.
They're very, it's like, you know, because then you could do exactly, 9 times out of 10, exactly what they're complaining is being done to them, they turn around and then do, trying to find their justice. And they just, I don't know, the irony seems to be lost on these people, but like, I try not to talk about that shit a lot because I don't want to give it any more added weight than it deserves, and it's just say, you know, not everybody's gonna like me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't need everybody to like. I just need enough people to fill up enough of wherever I'm playing, so I can continue doing this. That's all.
Not only that, like as a comedy fan, like what you're doing right now, like what you're doing in the special, the stuff that I saw you working out before the special, is what I always wanted to see. As a comedy fan, that's what I like. I like people who take risks, who say crazy shit that you know is you're walking out on a line, you know, you're on a wire. You know, I want to see you walk like that Troops bit. You're walking on a fucking wire, and you can feel it. You can feel buttholes clenching up while you start the bit. I love it. That kind of comedy to me is the most fun, especially now at this day and age. With
dude, if I miss another shot on this fucking kid,
if something still makes me go, oh shit, where's he going?
Yeah. But the thing is if you're gonna keep being a comedian, then you know how to do it.
Yeah.
So then you're just gonna be bored. You just wrote shit that you knew the crowd was gonna like and blah blah blah. But to then challenge yourself to kind of, hey, can I say what I think about this?
It's already over. I'm gonna hop in the tank.
That doesn't put people, because I'm not that guy. I don't want to walk the crowd. I don't want to have people waiting to yell at me.
Right.
There's certain people that like that, kind of want to be that person. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just
was
want
that
to
mine?
make you laugh.
Was that
And
mine?
I definitely, you know, will stare into areas. Yeah, I have a lot of silly shit too, but I'll stare into some areas or whatever. But it's all like just done in fun. It's just done in fun. It's just
Dude, what are you doing up there hiding?
That's all you're doing.
Exactly. And if you're not there to see that, well then you picked the wrong place.
It's not legislation.
Now you know. Go home.
Yeah, I just saw a great quote Joe Rivers said there.
What did she say? What did she say?
Saying a comedian should never apologize for a joke. It just means you didn't get the joke, and
that bitch was ruthless.
Oh,
she was ruthless. To the day she died, she was ruthless.
No, I saw her. I saw her towards the end of her life, and I was just going like, I couldn't pull that off. But like, she was also somebody that like was like Carlin, where it was they didn't just go, okay, I got here and we're satisfied. They just kept going to higher and higher levels, and I'm telling you, if you watch her on the Ed Sullivan Show, okay, in the 60s, where her act was at, versus the 70s, and then the 80s, and the 90s, there's very few artists that you watch that their trajectory is this.
Continuing to climb.
Jack Lemmon, one of my favorite actors of all time. You watch him in The Apartment, as great as he is in that, Jack Lemmon and Glenn Ross blows away Jack Lemmon in 1960-61, because, you know, not like I knew the guy, but like, if you don't take the ride, it's what I call it, you know, when people say, yeah, and you just, I'm fucking, that's when you just level off and you start to go back down. If you keep going, like I can learn from younger people, I can learn from older people, peers, you'll continue, if you, but it's constant, like, work.
Yes.
If you put the work in, like, I'm hoping, because both of them fascinate me equally, Carlin and Joan Rivers, how they went like this, you know, and Carlin was so fucking out there. I thought there was comedians that didn't get what he was doing towards the end, and now you go back and watch what the fuck he was saying in the 2000s, and all of that shit is happening. I mean, he was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, people thought he was overreacting.
Oh no, he's just this angry old man. It's just like
he saw where he was going.
You need to go back and listen. He's trying to warn you about some shit, and he was just 100%. I mean, just fucking on the money. Like, I can watch shit that he said in 1990 and be like, that actually, I know what that is right now. Like, that's not like, I mean, that's almost like 30 years ago, and you don't watch it like he's up there like, hey, take my wife, please. It's not like this, it's like a timeless thing.
Well, some people, I think, the struggle of doing the work, of showing up at the clubs, of grinding, that feeling of, you know, going on stage with the seeds of new material, eating shit, not knowing where they're going, taking chances, going on.
Get off the tank before you get us killed.
And then finding punchlines and new ways to take the bit, and then you want to ad-lib something. Holy fuck, that's it. This is the whole thing. And then you piece it all. Yeah, you find a wormhole into another dimension, and you piece it all together. get weary. They get tired of doing that.
I think it's just
retirement.
But I also think it's the fear of those stories we were talking about earlier is like the humiliation of trying to learn how to actually be a comedian or being in a band. Anything that involves getting up on a stage, you don't want to feel that again.
Right.
So I think people will like, okay, I'm doing this and this works. And then it's a fear, well, I'm finally drawing tickets. Because everybody, I don't give a fuck who made it. Like, most of us had that feeling in a comedy condo of like, am I the guy who's not gonna fucking make it? What have I done? And that fucking cold sweat feeling. I think people who stop growing, I think part of it is that. You don't want to go back to, what the fuck did I said something the other night on stage, and it bombed so fucking bad. It was like a vacuum. I can't go back. I didn't get sucked into my own body. It was like a kick to the chest. It was like I had to pull out an old joke to get it so I could get a drink of water. Like, whew. I had not left the midsection. I was just sitting there like, huh?
And got it right in the liver.
Boom, yeah, liver shot. It wasn't a liver shot because I would have gone down.
Solar plexus.
It was, it was definitely. Yeah. I had to regroup and get back on the. I stepped into like a sinkhole on that one.
That could still happen though. I like that can still happen. I like things that scare the shit out of me. I always have. I'm into it. I'm not into safe things. I like it when it goes off the road and into the trees.
In certain parts, in comedy, I do. I don't like that in
life.
Yeah, in my personal relationships, I don't like when it gets scary.
I don't like that either. Yeah, that's that could be a problem. Yeah, I think that we all can learn, like, if we keep doing it. I think Dom Herrera told me this too. He goes, Joe, one of the things that I really love about comedy, he goes, I think I'm better than I've ever been. He goes, I've been doing this comedy for fucking 40 years. I agree with that. I agree with it as well. But it's because of his love of it. You know, Dom loves it. Like, he'll go on stage in the OR, and they're bringing him up, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you see this guy on HBO, and this and that, and this, fucking credits. And he's walking onto that stage with a big smile on his face. It's the best part of his day.
Does anybody give a better shitting on your intro than him? Those are the stories. Like, Dom's bringing up, like, oh, I can't wait to hear what he says about me.
Yeah.
And it's always like this, he does this complimentary while he's taking your fucking knees out.
No, he's a fantastic on Kill Tony. He's one of the best guests ever on Kill Tony. Because, you know, because those comics go up and they do 1 minute, and so many of them are brand new. They might have done stand-up once or never before. It's their first time.
I can't believe those kids have the balls to do that. I would.
It's a great show. It's a great show because of that. And Tony's such a great host. Him and Red Band fuck those people. But my favorite by far side guest is when Dom is a guest. Because he's so fucking good at it. He's so good at shitting on bad comedy. And half compliment you and half shitting at you at the same time. I used to love his show that he used to do at the Laugh Factory, Busted Balls, with Dom Herrera. Yeah, he would do that. Did that. Yeah, they would sit down.
I can smoke some weed, bro.
Buddy,
I never said that, man.
Never said that.
You did say that. You did say that. You did ban me from the club. You did all of this shit.
I don't know who put your stuff on YouTube. Was not me, buddy. He's not me, buddy. Yeah.
He never owns up to the fact he banned me from the club one time. It never happened.
Why did he ban you?
He was doing this thing where he wanted people to work clean or something, and I went up there, and admittedly, just some nights you get on stage, you start saying fuck and you can't stop. It was one of those sets. And he goes, buddy, what happened, man? You know, you go up on stage, you fuck all over the place. And I just laughed. I thought he was fucking around. And then all of a sudden I wasn't getting spots. And then somebody gave the advice, call him up and apologize. Ugh. And then he knew he had me. And I apologized, and then he just fucked with me.
How long ago was this?
Late 90s.
Fun times.
No, they were not fun times. And the store was not fun. You would go down the store, there was like nobody there. And it was just these fucking famous comics would just drop in. And they would do like hours and hours. And they didn't do the work. They hadn't written anything. And they were just standing on the mic saying, yeah, so what else is going on? And they were teaching all these young comics that like someday when I get on a show, I'm going to fucking do that. I'm up in there. And I remember being like, this is what it is? What the fuck is this? And then it was all late 90s. Then I went down to the Improv. And Seinfeld, it was right as Seinfeld had wrapped up. And it was the first time I was seeing him live. And it was like Jerry's popping in. And I was just like, oh wow, man, okay, I want to see Jerry. And he had a 20-minute spot, and he did 20 minutes. He came up, he opened with something that worked, he closed with something that worked, and he worked on his new shit in the middle. 20 minutes, got the light, wrapped up, thank you, good night. I remember thinking, like, that guy's a fucking pro. A pro.
Yeah, there was a time where that was a thing to do, guys, you know, and I think Chris Rock would do it, where that's how he would come up with material. And he would say to the audience, don't get too excited, this shit isn't be that funny. Right. He would say that. Like, he would go on after somebody that killed. Like, someone would do, like, 15 minutes of all their best shit, and then Chris would pop in. So Chris would go up afterward, and he'd go, what else? What else? And he would, like, I think it was a strategy to put himself in these bad positions, hoping that he would find a way out of it, and then he would take those little chunks that he would find when he would find a way out of it, and then build those into bits.
But he wasn't one of those guys that went up and just did 2 hours.
No.
2 hours because he was Chris Rock.
No, he did like 20 minutes or something.
He was always, like, whenever I saw him pop in, I would always watch because he was working. He had written stuff, and he was working on it. And it was,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about, Zach. Yeah, that would do, there's a couple guys that would do that. Yeah.
So worse.
It was bad. Because they weren't even trying to be, they weren't trying to entertain the crowd. And by the time they were
up there
done,
being famous.
Yes. And by the time they were done with the fucking show, people just get up in droves because it wasn't entertaining. Yeah. Well, those days are done. You know, that's the beautiful thing. There's no more of that. A couple people have tried to do that, you know. A couple people have come in, like, fairly recently that are famous, run the light, done 45 minutes, try to do that, and they can't come back. They've had a few of those people try to stop in.
I never thought that would. I always thought that fame would win that one. That's good to hear. That again, they're actually doing the person a favor.
Well, you know why they can't do that anymore? The shows are sold out every fucking night at the store, and it's packed with killer comedians. You can't do that anymore. You can't go on between you and D'Elia and Joey Diaz and just what else? What else? You can't do that anymore. Those days are done. Yeah, you gotta bring it after Joey. Those days are done. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Joey Diaz will leave a fucking hole in that room. He leaves a hole. You gotta fill that fucking hole in before you can even start to tell jokes. Yeah,
I love Joey.
He's a monster. I've never seen anybody kill harder in my life. I've been doing comedy 31 years. I've never seen anybody kill harder than Joey Diaz.
He has a command.
He's a monster.
Yeah, when he goes out there, it's like, all right, the captain's here.
Yeah, he's a monster. He hits some high, and also, by the way, he's doing comedy from 1990. He's doing comedy like Me Too never happened, the internet never happened, there's no fucking rules.
Yeah.
He does not give a fuck. And just really doesn't.
It still kills because most people don't give a fuck.
Well,
not in a toxic fucking way that they say. It's just like they know they're seeing jokes.
Yeah.
They know that he's fucking around.
Right. He's funny.
Yeah.
And it's good. That's the other thing, too. It's ridiculous, outrageous, but it's also really well-worded, well-timed shit.
Right.
Yeah. There's so much good comedy.
Somebody was telling me there's a thing out there now that if somebody shows up who's hard of hearing, you're supposed to have a device for them to help them out, and if they don't, they can sue you. So there's some fucking ambulance chaser, hard of hearing guy going around suing people.
Well, I've done shows where they have a sign language first, and you've done that, right? Well, they have to do it like at certain theaters. Like,
but my thing is, why is it on the club? It's like, you know, you're hard of hearing.
Yeah.
How the fuck? Like, I gotta
hire somebody.
Yeah, if you have a limp, do I have to make sure there's a cane there?
I did Cops once, and there was a guy in the audience that was deaf, and he actually hired someone to do sign language. So someone was sitting facing him while I was, like, he was facing me, and someone was sitting, like, say if Jamie is the audience member, and you're you know, like this TV's going to stand at this lady was doing this, and then doing this to him, doing this, and doing this to him. And I was like getting blocked. And so I was going, what's going on here? And then I had to sort it out.
Right.
Oh, you hired her to do it. He goes, yeah, I bring her to, explain, I bring her to comedy clubs. I go, you bring her to movies? Like, he's like, this guy had this lady that he would hire, and she would do sign language. But good for him, though. He didn't make a big deal out of it. He hired someone.
That's actually great. You go to movies and nobody talking bugs him. doesn't. He only needs to see a movie once. He gets all the fucking dialogue.
He doesn't get the music, the manipulation that the music gives you. That shit doesn't work on him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this music drives me nuts in movies. I mean, I like it. It adds to movies.
Right.
But there's sometimes when I'm aware of it, that's when it bothers me. When I'm aware. When there's like piano playing and the guy and the girl holding hands, I'm like, come on.
Right.
You didn't need to do this to me.
Or if they pick a hacky song that you've seen in like 40 different movies, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
That was cool when Scorsese used it in 1980.
But it's an interesting thing because it came from the time where there was no sound in movies. So they would add a musical soundtrack. Because the movies were silent. And you would see the screen where the words would come out. So we, from then, associated movies with music. It's a weird thing. Like, these people are talking, there's a shootout, there's a fucking fight in a scene, in a movie, in a comedy club or whatever, in the movie, and then there's music playing, and all this stuff's going on. Like, why is there music playing? Why you manipulate? Because they've always had music in movies. So from the time they had movies where there was silent, there was music playing in the background, they just kept it in there. Like, it doesn't make sense that music is in movies. You're showing me scenes of things that are supposedly really happening, and I'm supposed to be locked in like they're really happening, but there's this unexplained fucking music that corresponds with all the action on the screen.
There's an art to everything.
For sure.
If used properly.
Yes. No, for sure there's an art. But it's amazing that we automatically associate those two things together.
Right.
Because music is a totally different thing.
Alright, bro. I'll turn it off. Good night, man.
They're inexorable to us.
I wouldn't want to watch Jaws without that fucking theme.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, fuck,
But
it's back.
I wonder...
That's all I would think when I'd hear that. Ah, no, it's back.
I wonder if when they first invented movies, if they already had invented audio recording. Because it's kind of crazy that they invented video recording before audio. You would think that